What's up, YouTube? So, in this video topic, I'm gonna talk about my thoughts on how I view this world, on how I view this human experience. Right. So, it's just strange how no matter what, there's always conflict. So I feel like throughout my life, I feel like I've been exposed to a lot of just weird situations. I've experienced situations where people would just act so fucking cruel towards me. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, what the hell? I've experienced people lashing out at me and disrespecting me, and these are the same people who would always try to befriend me. These are the same people who always try to want to be cool with me, right? But for some reason, it's even when they're just quote unquote joking around, they'll still say a lot of hurtful words. And but compared to other people, they won't say that. They won't say that. I've experienced people trying to use me, try to just talk down on me. Like I had family members, especially who done this. I had coworkers and even adults who are twice my size and twice my age who would do shit like this, right? Even in authority figures as well. So this is why I believe in spiritual warfare. I personally believe there are different entities that latch on to different people who are vibrating low to try to attack you, you know. But I also look at it's and I got this from other spiritual channels as well. I didn't make this on my own, but I also feel like I said, with my mindset, how I view things, I personally believe there's a creator and there's a God and there's a devil and a Satan. If not exact things, I do believe there's a good and the evil. I do believe there are negative entities trying to harm people who are trying to do good, right? I do believe there are negative entities who are trying to inhabit other people's bodies so they could try to influence these bodies to harm people who are trying to do good, right? Um, but I always question God and the creator and the universe. Why would you guys allow so much bad shit to happen to me? I understand his life too. Sometimes I have a tendency to blame everything on God, but at the same time, I can't deny the fact that I've experienced a lot of spiritual warfare. I'm not gonna say everything that happens because again it's gonna be a short video. I got shit to do, but I've experienced a lot of crazy situations where people would just act how they act towards me, you know, even with family members, how they just gang up on me, and I'm just like, yeah, no way. All this shit is not a coincidence. It's spiritual warfare. Just how shit plays out, you know. I've even dealt with just I'm not gonna say it, but I've dealt with a lot of crazy situations revolving around authority figures as well, a lot of negative energy. But when people in the spiritual community, when they talk about you're protected, or your ancestors are protecting you, or your spirit's protecting you, me personally, I never understood that because I kind of disagree. Because if that was the case, then this world wouldn't be so shit. If that was the case, then this world wouldn't be so evil and there'll be less suffering. Because if we really do have spiritual protection, then why is the world so shit? And that's what I never understand. Some people say, "Oh, don't mess with him, don't mess with her because she's spiritually protected, or he's very divinely protected." And I'm just like, okay, well that's cool. Well, what about the whole world? If these spirits and these ancestors are so focused on a particular person, why can't they be focused on this whole world? Why can't they be focused in this whole realm? But they can't because it's false, you know. And that could be true, but either that's false, or maybe these beings in the afterlife, these spiritual beings, they're very weak when it comes to protection. Because if they're able to have quote unquote that much protection, which people claim, why can't they have the same, or why can't they protect this whole world? Why can't they protect this whole realm? Because this whole world is going to shit. You know what I'm saying? It's been going to shit ever since humanity existed. You know what I'm saying? There's so much warfare. There's so much violence that's going on. So much corruption. So this is why when people say, "Oh, you're spiritually protected or you're divinely protected," I disagree. I don't agree with that shit at all. I do believe it, but at the same time, I only believe it to a certain extent, you know. But I just never understood this human experience. It's so corrupted and evil, right? There's so much corruption. It's not hard to point out the corruption. It's not hard to point out how violent it is, right? And I personally believe there are other beings such as spirits and ghosts. I believe I believe we have ancestors. I believe there's different beings that are on the good side, right? And I'm just like, why can't these beings help us out? Clearly, they can see that this world is so fucked up. Why can't they come down here and help us out? They can't, you know. And if people say they claim they do, they're not doing much. You hear the spiritual channels, people talk about spiritual warfare, this and that, which I agree. I believe there's spiritual warfare, but like I feel like why is it like it's so easy for like people to be influenced by negative entities, and there's so much violence and evil shit going on, but yet there's very few or less good shit that's actually happening. You know, I feel like when it comes to spiritual protection, I feel like these beings are very bad at protecting this world and protecting human beings because there's so much spiritual warfare going on. You know, there's so much people going against one another, and I've experienced this from personal experience. I've experienced a lot of situations where like out of nowhere, like me, like I'll mind my own business. I'm trying to do the right thing, and like out of nowhere, I had like family members who would turn on me, friends, quote unquote friends, like work colleagues, just life situations where like everyone seems to attack me, and I've been in cycles where this shit will continuously happen, and it's so strange. And again, this is where you get your generational curses. There's all this crazy ass shit, man. You know, and like I said, just the fact that people experience generational curses, just the fact that people are being born into like dysfunctional families and chaotic bloodlines, I personally feel like that's proof that like as human beings, we really don't have free will like that. Because even if we choose to experience this shit, I personally don't understand why we would choose to even experience shit like this. You know, for what benefit? Because we have people who are fucking up their entire lives. Like how I look at it is this: why can't God fix it? Why can't the universe? Why can't the Creator? Why can't God? Why can't they fix these situations? Instead, God wants certain people to be born into, incarnate into these dysfunctional, toxic bloodlines, into these families, so they could break these generational curses. But why can't God or the Creator? Why can't they fix all this shit themselves? It said so. I feel like God uses human beings to do the dirty work, right? While God just sits there and allows so much evil shit to happen. Again, that's my opinion, but you know, just I don't know, man. It's just weird, man. In this world, there's so much corruption. There's so much control. There's so much limitations, and there's a lot of evil shit that's going on. And I've experienced a lot of spiritual warfare as well, man. And again, I'm not when I say spiritual warfare, I'm not saying I'm an angel or like I treat people holy and thou. I'm not saying that. I've made mistakes. I've harmed people too, but I am trying to become a better person. But overall, I have experienced cycles and a lot of scenarios and crazy coincidences where people would just attack me for no reason. Shit's crazy. Like, I'm not gonna explain my life stories, but I have experienced maybe in the future, but I've experienced a lot of spiritual warfare from other people. It's insane, but this is how life is. This is why like I'm always questioning life. I'm always like trying to figure life out because I'm just like, yo, does these beings, does these spirits, do these ghosts even see what the fuck is going on? Does God or the Creator, are they even aware of how corrupt this world is? Some people are atheists. There's just so much information out there. Like there's so much stuff that we know and we don't know, you know. But it is what it is, man. I'm speaking my thoughts when it comes to spiritual warfare, when it comes to like spiritual protection, you know. But like, comment, subscribe, man. Have a good one. I'm out.